Now we're going to talk about DIO wiring. Since I have to do some wiring, I'm going to show you how I do it. Very simple. Now, electrics is not my strong suit, but basic wiring and basic function, as you can notice, this engine compartment looks more cleaned up. Now I'm going to show you what I did with that. But first of all, we have to remember that on these little bikes, they vibrate a lot. And what I have is a number of, these are for small wires, such as this wire and this wire. Now, wires come in different gauges. Say like this could be a 20 gauge, I'm not sure if it is, or this could be a 14 gauge. The smaller the gauge, the bigger around the wire. And the higher the gauge, the tinier the wire. But not so much current it carries through it, I believe. Now I'm not positive on that. But for smaller wires, smaller ones, I'll use these to connect them. And on the larger wires, I'll use either the orange here on these, and for a number of wires, say like 1, 2, 3, 4 wires, you know, large wires, I'll use the even bigger ones. That just depends on which wires you're using. Also, what's good to have is instead of wrapping your wire, say here, around something, is that you put on different gauge endings to help you with your wiring, and they come in different sizes. They come in large, medium, and small. Right here, these little blue ones are good for this. It just keeps your engine compartment clean. Now the next thing I like to use is, this is a light here. This is a light along with the pokey thing. Ow, 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 on the end there. Okay, there is a light in here. And this goes to the ground. Now remember, circuit is a completed circuit means that the ground goes to this damn thing. It's making my video suck. That is a completed circuit. The wire leaves one end, goes all the way around, and comes to here. Now, when the circuit is completed, like this, the light goes on. So we put this on the ground, as I'll show you. This is to find out if a wire is hot or not. When we say a wire is hot, it means that there's current running through it. So what I like to do with this is I'll put this part on a natural part of the ground, which is the frame. And then what I will do, put that on the frame. Then what I'll show you how this works. Then if you want to find a hot wire to hook up maybe one of your gauges, like I just hooked up this ammeter right here. I had to find a hot wire to hook it up to. And what I did was I took this and went right to this wire right here, and I found out that that is a hot wire because I have juice going through the handle all the way down to the ground. If I take the ground off and I go to touch that, there is that is a hot lead, but that juice is not going through the handle to the ground because the ground is not hooked up. Right there. So we use the pointy end right here to jab the wires, you know, give it your samurai sword to jab the wires, and make sure you don't get your fingers because it's real easy to do. And then you screw it like this, and it will go hot on you. You can see. Now it's really good in case you need to find a wire, which, let's take these pumps for instance. I have to find a wire that is hot only when the engine is on. How do I do that? Well, what I have to do is I have to turn the motor on. Then I have to take my little light here and I have to test all these wires to see which is hot. Then what I'll do is I'll turn the engine off, and if the light goes off, then I know that that's a lead that will stay hot when the engine is only on. That's what this is for. Now this is a multimeter, and I know how to barely use it. I like to check maybe resistance and line voltage, and that's about it. Then what you need a good wire stripper. You need a good knife to take off some of the plastic there. And this is a really good liquid electrical tape. It's just green looking goo. Works pretty good in tight areas. And your black electrical tape. Now we also have fuses here. And what a fuse is used for is, this one is 5 amps. If you look very closely in there, you'll see a little S or a Z. That is a little piece of lead, I believe, and it's only good for 5 amps. Any more than that runs through it, it will break. That'll keep your wires from melting and catching on fire. And I'm going to have to do this in part 2.